Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Jagan from JPTC Asia Pacific. I would like to introduce you to Miss Kamini from Mrs. Kamini Lavanya and Associates. Today we are going to discuss on lodging a complaint in JPP or PTK, which is more suitable on. So JPP stands for Jabatan Perhubungan Perusahaan and PTK stands for Pejabat Tenaga Kerja. So my first question will be how to determine whether an aggrieved employee should lodge a complaint in the Industrial Relations Department, which is Jabatan Perhubungan Perusahaan, or in the Labour Court, Pejabat Tenaga Kerja.
Hello, everyone. Okay, as to answer this question, first we have to see what does the aggrieved employee would want to seek for. Does he want to seek for reinstatement? If yes, then he should be lodging a complaint in the Industrial Relations Department, that is Jabatan Perhubungan Perusahaan, within the period of 60 days from the date of dismissal. So the matter will then be referred to the Industrial Court. There is often a question that being asked by clients that if they were to lodge a complaint in the Industrial Relations Department, whether they can still seek monetary compensation. Although the answer to this question is technically no, it is notable that there are a number of cases the courts have decided to grant monetary compensation instead of reinstatement for a number of reasons. Say, for example, the claimant, i.e. the aggrieved employee has actually secured job in another company while the matter in the industrial is still going on. Or on the other hand, it could be a reason that the relationship between the employee and the employer has damaged, that it's no longer practical to place the employee in the company back. So in that instance, the court usually grant monetary compensation. So as I said, even though the answer is technically no, um, the increasing trend is that the court is actually giving monetary compensation. Whereas as with regards to the labor court or the Pejabat Tenaga Kerja, the employee can actually seek for indemnity in lieu of the notice period or any other payments that is due as per their employment contract. So this actually basically differentiates both. But it is notable that for Industrial Relations Department, there has to be termination in order to seek the remedy. Instead of the labor court, the employee can still seek for remedy whilst being on employment. That differentiates the in JPP and also Pejabat Tenaga Kerja claims.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kamini. So my second question will be what remedies that an employee can seek if he or she were to lodge a complaint in the Industrial Relations Department and that the Labour Court of PTK.
Okay, as with regards to Industrial Relations Department, as I mentioned earlier, the primary remedy is that reinstatement, i.e. being placed back in the same position as the employee used to be. Basically, if the court were to grant reinstatement, the court would also grant back wages from the date of dismissal up until the date being granted reinstatement. So, for example, it's about 12 months period from the date of dismissal, and reinstatement is giving after that about 12 months period in gap, then the court will also grant back wages for that interim period. Whereas on the other hand, the court can also grant monetary compensation that consists of back wages and also compensation in lieu of reinstatement. What amounts to back wages is basically last drawn salary for a number of period of months. For a permanent employee, the court can actually grant a maximum period of 24 months of back wages, whereas for a probationer, the court can give actually for 12 months. That is the maximum period. However, the number of months or the back wages compensation is purely at the discretion of the court. Whereas for compensation in lieu of reinstatement basically means 1 month of salary for each completed year of service of the employee in concern. So if the employee has actually completed 12 years of service in the company, then he is entitled to claim for 12 months of his last drawn salary. So as a total, it will be a back wages and as well as the compensation in lieu of reinstatement. Whereas on the other hand, with a labor court claims, as I've mentioned earlier, it is indemnity in lieu of notice period. So for example, if the employee should be given 3 months of notice before terminating his employment, then the employee can seek for damages in that respect, or any other damages such as retrenchment benefits, unpaid leave, or unpaid medical leave, or even unpaid salary that the employer should have paid to the employee. That explains the question.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kamini. So the final question will be, who are protected under the Employment Act 1955?
Okay, as with regards to this, we have to actually look into the first schedule of the Employment Act. There are 2 limbs under the first schedule. The first limb basically states that an employee should be earning 2,000 and below in order for him or her to be covered under the Employment Act, whereas the second limb states that he or she must be a manual labor. Well, what does a manual labor means is not a straightforward answer. There is no straightforward answer for that question. However, in a case law such as Colgate-Palmolive, the court actually held that when it requires physical exertion as in comparison with mental or intellectual effort, then he or she will be considered as a manual labor. So that actually differentiates between these two. However, there is no straightforward answer as to this, but we can actually give examples. Say, for example, a person who actually does work in office and it involves a lot of mental or intellectual effort, then he or she may not be regarded as an employee within the purview of Employment Act. So that are the 2 limbs. But there is another thing that often the employees are not aware, is that as per Section 69B, an employee can also seek for wages or any other payment that is due as per the contract of employment, provided the maximum amount of wages that the employee was drawing was 5,000. So they can actually lodge a complaint in the Jabat Tenaga Kerja. That explains.
Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Kamini.
Welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.